It was a somber mood at CNN studios after the Biden-Trump debate. Here's Van Jones on the verge of tears, saying what he thinks should be next for Joe Biden.
Two ways about it. That was not a good debate for Joe Biden.
Van? That was painful. I love Joe Biden. I work for Joe Biden. He didn't do well at all. He did not do well at all. And he looked, I'll give you the analysis, you kind of have the old man versus the con man. I can walk you through how I'm supposed to see it and say it, but I just want to speak from my heart. I love that guy. That's a good man. He loves his country. He's doing the best that he can. But he had a test to meet tonight to restore confidence of the country and of the base, and he failed to do that. And I think there's a lot of people who are going to want to see him consider taking a different course now. We're still far from our convention, and there is time for this party to figure out a different way forward if he will allow us to do that. But that was not what we needed from Joe Biden, and it's personally painful for a lot of people. It's not just panic, it's pain for what we saw tonight.
This fucking scumbag douchebag.
Yep. He's literally begging. He's begging Biden like Biden is like a king. He's begging the king to abdicate his throne. Like, do you realize how sick their politics is?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, again, not to beat a dead horse, Joe Biden has done more damage to your community, a community you claim to care about, than any living and active politician. Active.
Meaning Van Jones, meaning the African-American, not your community, Tusk. Although he hasn't been that nice to women either.
He hasn't been great to your community. It's part of the reason your community is economically devastated, along with many communities, policies and trade deals that Joe Biden has supported over the course of his long career.
I usually just say black and white, unite and fight. That's what I usually say.
That's right.
Exactly. But, Van Jones, he speaks of Black Lives Matter and George Floyd. He's not shy about talking about the carceral state. Mm-hmm. How on earth do you care to claim to care about those things and then speak about Joe Biden in that way? And that's what we saw the other day with his disgusting running cover for the apartheid real estate sale they were holding at a synagogue in Los Angeles. He knows that's what's so disgusting about it. Some of these people are just ignorant. Van Jones in that segment really showed to me he knows what he's there for. He's there to give black credibility to racist ideology. That is his job, and he plays it to the hilt. He's selling his blackness to give cover to white people who want to embrace Joe Biden in spite of this horrifically racist past in both word and deed. Oh, well, Van Jones says it's okay for me to love Joe Biden. So I guess it's okay. Someone who hasn't
done anything for that community. Not even just like racist past. Even in his present, he hasn't done anything. Look at how much he struggled in that question. He kept rambling off like some stuff, and then there are this many blacks in here and blacks everywhere. There are blacks everywhere.
I mean,
that's all he said.
Biden was terrible on that question, and Trump was pretty good. Trump was pretty strong.
A black person made my lunch today.
And,
many of them around the White House.
See, the thing is, Biden was so bad, Trump didn't have to really make sense. Trump just had to project confidence. And a showman like Trump, who's been in show business his whole life, not even if you weren't in show business his whole life, just the job of a businessman, never mind a show businessman like Trump, the job of a businessman is to project confidence even if you know nothing of what you're talking about. And so I don't remember or I don't care what the substance of Trump's answer on the race question was. It didn't matter. He projected confidence like he knew what he was saying, and Biden looked completely desperate. which, again, if you look like that and you have a record people feel proud of, that's one thing. When you look like that and your record sucks, it's another thing, and black and brown voters have already started flocking away from Biden in droves. And so that was another front on which this debate was a disaster. And Van Jones comes in here and is weepy-eyed about it. Why? Why do you feel that level of pain for Joe Biden?
That's
a man who has sold out the black community at every opportunity. And Van Jones is a guy who was run out of the Obama administration for being too radical. He's not ignorant to all of this. He knows this. If he weren't willing to prostitute himself, he wouldn't have shown up at the Israel March, which he did last fall.
Right.
And got booed.
And got booed for trying to be a fence sitter. Hey, maybe we shouldn't kill all the Palestinians. Right, exactly.
Well, trying to essentially do a coupon thing. Okay, is 5,000 enough children in Gaza? Right. Is that, will you join if we punch 5,000 holes in the Gaza death card? That's the barter that he's doing. It's cruel.
Ironically, Trump actually does have a record to run on. Right. And going back to him not having a great answer, but he didn't need to, he could have said, hey, I went and I undid your crime bill. I signed sentencing reform because your crime bill, you say you want to hang people for jaywalking. I fixed that. He was the first president to give permanent funding to HBCUs. And under him, whether it's because of his policies or not, on the numbers, black unemployment, and I believe also Latino unemployment was at a historic low. So he actually has a record to run on, which does go to what you're saying. Like, he could have given a much better answer than what he did. And Joe Biden would have had no idea what to do with that.
Trump did mention criminal justice reform and HBCUs, but vaguely. He didn't really hammer that as well as he should have. But he didn't have to. He did not have to.
Yeah. He knows not to get into the culture wars. Essentially what they told him is you defend anything that anyone would say is going to be seen as racist. So if Joe Biden says, I've done a whole lot with HBCUs, then you say, I've also funded those, so chill out. And he has that in his back pocket. And so he has like a layer of defense in that way. And that's exactly what he did. And he stuck to that. And he just said, like, look, I have not done these psychotic racist things that you've talked about. I've done some decent things. It's not like I'm a social justice warrior or anything, but you can't accuse me of what you're accusing me of. And that was really the stopgap of it all. And that's how you should handle culture war issues.
Please clap.